Okay. Okay, now just say your full name.
Geneva May Treat Massey.
Nice. Full name.
Delbert Eugene Massey.
Okay, when and where were you born?
I was born March the 14th, 1936, at Morning Star, Arkansas, out in the country, 5 miles north of Marshall, in a huge room, log type house in the corner of one of the rooms.
I didn't know that it was in the corner of a room. That's crazy. Wow. And granddaddy, where were you born?
I was born January the 13th, 1935, at Leslie, Arkansas.
Good old Leslie. Okay, and then how old are you guys right now?
I'm 84, will be 85 next March, and it's sort of 84 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 85 and 7 months.
Very specific. I like it. Okay. Okay. Then where did you grow up?
I grew up at Morning Star, Community Morning Star, Arkansas, 5 miles north of Marshall, out in the country.
Nice. Granddaddy.
I grew up at Leslie, Arkansas.
Good old Leslie. In Morningstar, how close is Morningstar to Leslie?
He's, well, how far is it from Leslie to Marshall? 7 miles?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's close. Because I haven't really heard of Morningstar.
Well, it's out in the community.
Gotcha.
It's community.
Okay. Okay, now list your parents' names and then your siblings' names.
We got time?
Yep, we got time.
My mom was Clarinda Hall Treat. My dad was Troy Treat. They had 11 children. I'm the 9th of 11. Victor was the oldest. Jimmy, Russell, Winoka, and Mom was tickled to death to get a girl.
Winoka was the first girl?
First girl.
Oh, okay.
And before Winoka was born, they had some friends that the parents died and left little girls.
Mm-hmm.
My mom wanted to adopt those girls.
Aww.
And my dad said, no, Clara, we may have our own girls.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, after Winoka, it was Marion, Charles, Winona, and John D. Mom and Dad lost him at age of 14 months. And then I came along, and then Joe and Jack. Now my Victor, 2 of my siblings were born in Colorado. And that was Charles and Winona. And the others were all Arkansas.
Hmm. Charles and Winona were both born in
Colorado.
Oh, okay. Were they the oldest ones?
No.
Oh, your parents just moved to Colorado for a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My grandfather had a business at Koza Home,
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas. That's where Mom was. Although she was born in Kentucky, Peoples, Kentucky. And but when she and Dad got married and they had children, and my grandfather had a mine in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad picked up those that were born,
Mm-hmm.
and went there and worked in the mines.
Oh, okay.
And that's how come Charles and Winona were born there.
Mm.
Then they came back to Arkansas, and
Okay, I see. Okay, Granddaddy, your parents' names.
My mother was Willie Cates Massey. My dad was Guy Bentley Massey.
Guy Bentley. Okay, let's see what the next one is. Shall you still good on?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, what was your life like as a child? You want to go first?
Go for it.
What was your life like as a child? What was it like growing up?
Well, I had to be good.
Mm-hmm.
My dad made sure that I was a good kid, you know. And but I worked at a store. I worked in a store, and different things,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a pretty good life, you know.
Mhm.
You know, we went to church every time the doors opened, and it was a good life.
Mm-hmm. Did you like growing up in Leslie?
Pardon?
Did you like growing up in Leslie?
Yeah.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
kind of store was it?
It was a mercantile store.
Oh, okay.
It had groceries, clothing, shoes, groceries, and refrigerators, washing machines, and all that kind of. It had everything in it.
Yeah.
And he had a pickup, and we'd go to Little Rock and get stuff and bring and stock it in there.
Mm-hmm.
But it had everything in it.
Mm-hmm.
That too.
Cool. Mercantile. Grandmama?
I can't remember anything but a good time. Maybe it was because I was the 9th child. I was spoiled, he says.
Me too. I was well.
She still
And,
is.
we had outdoor games, kick the can, Annie over, you know.
What's Annie over?
Well,
Red Rover?
the Annie over was we'd pitch a ball over the house to somebody on the other side, and it was
Try to catch it.
And I grew up with music parties. My older brothers were all musicians, and one thing I remembered as a young child was it was of course the house was a 2 big room house, and they would be playing music in one side, and I remember going to bed in the other side, and the people that were there to play music and they jig danced,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad was great at it. And I remember this, and I was probably 4 or 5, lying in bed, and the people had put their coats at the foot of the bed, and I remember seeing them stacked high and thinking, Lord, don't let me smother to death in these coats.
Oh no. There are so many.
Yes.
Oh goodness.
But I grew up with that music, with that mentality, and I guess that's why to this day I like country.
Mm-hmm.
I like a lot of music, but another good memory I had growing up was my brother Russell, and I don't know if they were married or if they were just dating, his wife Talmadge. Russell asked me if I was going to write Santa Claus a letter, and I said, well, I don't know how. He said, well, I'll help you. So he helped me. He said, what do you want? And I said, I want a doll. Well, my brother Joe was probably maybe 2 or younger.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I want a pull toy for him because he was learning to walk and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, he wrote the letter and rolled it up on a piece of paper. And now this is the truth. There was a knothole in the front door. I mean, you know, our house was old.
Mm-hmm.
And he stuck that in that knothole. Well, it disappeared. Well, come Christmas, I got a doll, and my little brother got a little wooden pull toy.
Aww.
And that was precious, that kind of thing I grew up with. And my dad, well, we all did. We had a battery radio, and on Saturday night when the Grand Ole Opry was on, opera, it wasn't opera, it was Opry, and I'd sit in my dad's lap and listen to the Grand Ole Opry with him.
Aw.
And I guess I was spoiled.
You're like, oh, I'll admit it, finally. That sounds fun. Those are some good memories. Sitting with your dad. Yeah, Opry's right. You said it right.
And some bad memories was we had a big a tub of corn, and we would shuck the corn. It was in a family thing. And then as I got older, and I had the two younger brothers, the others were away from home then. We every night we had Mom read the Bible. I mean, it was just, that was a way of life. And then we would, Dad, Mom, Joe, Jackie, and I would kneel by that old Naugahyde couch and pray. And I always thought my mom could pray the sweetest, longest prayers ever.
That's sweet.